So how many of us out here feel like we are totally living our best lives the way we're supposed to, being the best version of ourselves, acting the best way we're supposed to, feeling the way we're supposed to, doing what we need to do, and being who we need to be? Like, anybody out there feel like that's completely them? That's kind of what I'm pondering right now. So I know there's a lot of people who feel like they are, and they feel like they're done learning because they know themselves, right? I don't need to learn myself anymore. I know who I am, which is awesome if you do. But I personally feel like I don't think that ever stops. Like, you can always learn more about yourself, and you can always grow and expand yourself into a bigger, better version of yourself. I feel like that can go on forever. Like, honestly, for real. But anyways, the point I'm making here is a lot of us feel like that because, you know, we checked all the boxes, right? We did what we were supposed to. We went to school, we did the layers of school, then we went and did the college, and then we went and got a degree, and then we got a job, and then, you know, you work in the 9 to 5 and doing the things, and you get a family, and you get a house, and you do all this stuff. Yeah, I have all that. And I kind of did it in my own order, in my own way. But the times I was living that dream life that we're all taught we're supposed to shoot for, that we want to do, I was freaking miserable. Nobody knew that as much as I felt. Like, you couldn't see that really on the outside, but internally I was freaking struggling. I was hurting constantly. I was in so much pain all the time. Like, I didn't know what it felt like to not have a headache. I didn't know what it felt like to not have your back just feel like it's torn apart. I didn't know what it felt like to not feel like you're carrying 50,000 loads of, you know, the 10 of wands or whatever, so many things on your shoulders. I did not know what it was like to not feel like that, because it was normal to me. That was my life, and I thought it was how everybody felt and lived and acted because I was doing everything right? No, I had so much anxiety. I had so much stress. I had so much depression. I had so much anger and frustration inside of me that I just couldn't express because I didn't know how, and I didn't know why I felt like that, because I had a perfect life, right? So that's why one day, out of the blue, I literally flipped something. It's like, I can't take it anymore. I had, like, since 2017, I think is probably when it got really bad. It was like constant pain, and the doctors would give me so many labels. Like, you have no idea how much medication I used to take. I used to take, I'll tell you a couple, 60 milligrams of Adderall a day. I used to take, I don't know how many milligrams, but it's called Cyclo something, but it's a muscle relaxer. I was taking like 400 milligrams of something called Tramadol. I was taking, what is it called? Serba. I don't even remember, but there was, Gabapentin something, whatever. I had so many pills that I was taking for all my issues that were coming, but it didn't ever fix it. And the doctors, yeah, you have slip disc, you have arthritis, you have bulging something or other, you have, Ehlers-Danlos hypermobility, you have ADHD, you have blah, 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 blah. You know, they tell me everything I have wrong with me and then give me the medicine to fix it. That was making me so much worse. Like, I wouldn't listen to my body. I didn't know how to, or who, like, what to do, because I wasn't raised to know how to trust myself in my body. You know, I wasn't taught to listen in here or any of that stuff, you know, and the things that I knew and I couldn't explain why I knew them, those couldn't be right, because everybody told me that I had to have a reason, or I had to have proof for what I know. So that's just like a pieces of what I'm trying to get to. But all of that feelings of inadequacy and fear and frustration and anger, all these fears I've been talking, or feelings I've been talking about, were eating me alive. Like, literally, my body gained like 30 pounds one year, and it was like a protection layer almost. And then that didn't help me. Nope, I didn't listen to that. So then the next year I lost all of that weight and more, and I looked like a freaking skeleton person walking around all this time, and still in so much pain all the time, and internal pain, emotional pain, fatigue. I couldn't sleep. I was taking sleeping pills. I was exhausted, but I couldn't sleep. And if I did try to sleep, my thoughts were just going and going and going all the time. But there was so much that I couldn't figure out why my body was doing this to me. And then one day, I started listening, and I'm like, it must be my job. That's what I blamed it on. It must be my job. So I was like, I can't do this anymore. Because I was a special ed teacher, I loved my job. I hated the paperwork. 100% hated that. That was ridiculous. But I would literally go to work at like whatever time, 7 every day. And I would leave probably at 7 at night. And then I'd go home and still have to work for like 2 more hours after I got the kids to bed. So I was freaking burnt out, exhausted, so frustrated. I keep saying that, but I was very frustrated with so many things, and I couldn't figure out what to do. So finally, after like 4 years of this, or however long it was, I just ended up quitting. I tried quitting a couple times before, and I came back because I felt so guilty, because I had the best job. I loved it. I had great bosses. I had great people I worked with. I had awesome kids. So I'm like, what's wrong with me? Why would I feel like I need to quit this job? Because I'm doing what I'm supposed to. I'm living my best life, right? I finally listened. I finally listened to myself and said, I'm putting in my notice, I'm quitting. And when I did that, I was able to get a first grade teaching position instead. So like I did apply for that first grade teaching position a couple other times, and I didn't get it, but I wasn't meant to get it. But when I did get this job offer, I had everything awesomely ready. Like I had my year ready. I had all the lessons planned out and ordered, like figured out what I'm doing. I mean, I didn't have them written out because I don't write lesson plans, but I knew what I was doing. I had it set up and organized the way I do things. And then everything was easy. And I'd go into school in the summer, decorating, having fun, because I love working. I hate not working. So I would go into school in the summer and just do my thing, and I'd still feel so crappy. And I'm like, I just quit my job and got my dream job. So why am I not feeling better? Why do I feel so much stress and anxiety inside of me still? And why is everything still hurting so bad? And finally, I just like, I can't do it. So I quit that too. I just said, sorry, I can't do it. And I went and I started Googling. And what I found was what's called a human design body graph. And this body graph, like when I saw it, I knew it was something that was going to change my life. And it was like so magnetic. And I was just like, woof, zoned in on it. And I couldn't stop staring at it and wondering, like, what are all these shapes? What are all these numbers? What does this mean? What does this mean? And I started looking and Googling and researching. So I did all that. And that, like a month after that research that I was doing, I ordered myself a human design reading from some person out in California. So I spent, $333 to get myself a basic human design reading. When I went and got that reading, I was like, this is all you're telling me? I learned all this stuff myself, right? So what that told me was, hey, this stuff, you get this. This is your jam. So you need to learn this for a reason. So I did all the things. I went to the school. I took all of the 4 levels of training you can take, and I did all my own deep research and knowing. And it's like something that's definitely embedded in my body, my cells, my heart, my soul, whatever. I am made to know this stuff. Like it was easy, natural. I didn't have to try it. And it was definitely part of my life's purpose to learn this. But that's why it was so attractive to me. But when I did that and I started to understand how I was actually designed to be, it made so much sense. Like, I figured it out. This is why I feel so much emotions. This is why I'm one of those people who can look at a pretty flower or a tree or an animal and just start crying with how sweet and beautiful it is, right? People would think I'm just a sensitive Sally. But yeah, I'm emotional. I have emotional definition, and I have a lot of emotion in me. I'm super sensitive. I always knew what people needed. I knew that, like with the kids that were the naughty kids or the troubled kids, I could just touch them. Like I could literally just put my hand, I could see on their shoulder, like right here, or some of them are like right here. I would literally just put my hand here and send them love, and that would calm them down. And I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know that was basically doing energy work. So all this stuff that I did, I learned why I did what I did and felt what I felt and thought what I thought and how I acted and did and believed everything the way I did at the time that wasn't really who I was. So learning my design changed my life completely. I don't take medicine anymore. I do, actually, I'm lying. I take something called collagen. It's liquid collagen that my friend Heather and Candy, they sell that. I mean, you get it from them, but it it's amazing. It helps your body like rejuvenate itself from the inside somehow. I don't know all the science or anything behind it, but it's this natural product that has been amazing. But since I started taking that, I noticed I finally gained weight back in my face, my cheeks and things. So I got like little plumps here and stuff. But anyways, that's a side note here. So that I do take that medication, and it's not even medication, it's a drink. So, but that has helped me heal from the inside as well after, but I didn't start taking that till recently. But the human design knowingness of who I was and how I was supposed to be is what changed my life. So I am what's called a quad right. So and I know nobody knows what I'm talking about, but I have the 4 arrows that we have. Mine are all facing right directions, which means I'm not a person that's really made to focus. My whole life, I was like, I don't want to say ridiculed, but I was in trouble all the time because of my inability to focus. Like I was one of those people who I'd be like this, like staring off or something when somebody's teaching something to me, or I'd be drawing or doodling or maybe looking around or like messing with stuff while I'm listening. But to the people around me, it looked like I wasn't paying attention. It looked like I didn't care, or maybe I was being rude. I didn't see it that way because I wasn't aware that I was even doing it, I guess. But knowing that that's how I receive information is I'm a person who just listens and it comes into me. I don't take notes. I don't study. I don't have to do any of that stuff because I'm so receptive to learning. Now, other people are very different. Some people are designed to just focus deep in, and they can tune in and only focus on what they're doing, and they can't hear anything else that's going around them. I mean, I can go off and tell you all the different ways, but I'm focusing on just my story right now. So once I found this out, and it gave me permission to do things the way I've always felt like doing it, it freaking opened up my life. So that was just part of it. I found out I was a generator. I'm a 6/2 emotional generator. I found out all this information about why I feel so many things from other people so deeply, and connect so deeply with certain things, and know certain things, know why I can, kind of communicate with animals and things like that. So all the stuff that I thought was a weirdo about me are like my strengths. They're like the things I'm supposed to shine. And that's like why I want to help other people see how amazing it can be to know who you truly are designed to be. Like I literally thought I was living the best life I could. I had a great husband, I had awesome kids, I had the best job, I had the car I wanted, I had the house I wanted, I had everything I wanted. And I wasn't feeling good. So knowing who you are changes your life. It allows you and gives you permission to be that way. Like everything I learned from my reading, my human design chart that I did, like learned and studied and everything, I knew most of this. Like I was aware of most of this stuff, but I thought it was wrong because of the way we're taught. Like, and I want to express here, I have the best parents. Like my parents were so loving and good to me. They did not like force things on me or make me be a certain way. I was just one of those people who kind of a pleaser. Like I wanted to do what they told me to do and things like that. I was also very rebellious. I'm not saying I was an angel, but I did want to make my parents happy. But I was an experimenter, and I had to do things my way, and I had to try things out for myself. So that's where I kind of looked like a rebel in a way. And I blah, blah, blah. That's a side note too. But the point I'm getting with this is I had great parents. They didn't restrict me or hold me back from anything, and they didn't force things on me. So I kind of just did that myself because that's what they did. And I wanted to make them happy, and I wanted to be like them, and all that good stuff. When I found out that, all that information I was saying about myself, and I started living that and being that way, oh my freaking goodness, I had no idea. Like for the first, I would say 3 months after I started doing that, I was shocked every day. I was like, what is going on here? What does this feel like? I don't have a headache. I have a clear mind. My heart feels so open. I can understand and trust my feelings, my emotions. When I get these intuitions and these intuitive knowings and the stuff that comes out of me, it's like, oh, that's why. It just gave me so much clarity and permission to be that weirdo that I was trying so hard not to be my whole life. So that's why I really, really, really feel like anybody who feels like they are living their best life and doing the things the way they're supposed to, but they still have all this crap wrong, like hurting, aches, pains, struggles, sleeping, fatigue, burnout, anger, frustration, bitterness, all the, disappointment, just living your life in that negative shadow side of ourselves. There's a way to fix that. And learning who you are, learning your design, and start actually being and living that person will literally change your life. So if you are one of those people and you want to learn more about yourself, I invite you to get a human design reading. I don't care if you get it from me or who you get it from, but get it from somebody who knows their stuff. Because I've had a lot of people tell me, I don't know who these guys are. I haven't met them, so this is just hearsay. But they've gotten readings. There's a couple people here in town, I think, that do them too. But these people that had them before they came to me, they were like, oh my gosh, that is totally different than what I got before. Yes, I knew this, and this, that basic stuff. But they left their other readings in fear. They left scared because the way it was presented to them. And I don't want that from anybody. I want you to leave feeling good, feeling positive, feeling probably a little like confused and maybe like, woof, because it's so much awesome information, but that goes away. And then you start to live the way you're supposed to be, and it's freaking amazing. So I invite you to get a reading and learn who you are so you can start being that way and feeling good and living your actual best life, because it is wonderful. Am I saying things don't go wrong? No. Am I saying we don't have any of those regular life struggles? Heck no, because I have tons of them. But when you run into them, when you deal with these life struggles and these challenges that may arise, it's so much easier to work through them and feel through them and learn from them and grow from them and move on from them, instead of having to feel the dread and the suckiness and all the, you know what I'm talking about, that comes along with that. It's very helpful. So if you have any questions, or you want any more information, or you want to get a reading or anything, get a hold of me. I would love to chat with you and help you change your life. Okay, look with love and have an awesome day.